What's up, guys? We are heading up north to the Leota area for camping in the winter. I got my diesel heater and all my gear back there, all my camping gear. So we're just gonna head up north. It's gonna be a cold night. I think a high of 20-ish degrees and a low of 10. So we'll see how she goes. It's hard to tell on camera, but there's a decent amount of snow coming down. Visibility is decent so far, but we'll see. It's supposed to stop probably in about an hour or so, I think, the snow. So I'm curious to see what camp's going to be like when I get there. But yeah, it's definitely a mini blizzard at this point. Yeah, the camera doesn't do it justice. We can't see much past that car in front of me. Going about 55 right now. Crazy weather. Well, we're about half a mile into the trail and it's not too bad, but it's kind of a slope down there. There's ice underneath all this, and I don't know, I'm by myself and I don't want to slide off into the ditch or into the woods or something. So I don't think I'm gonna make it to the high banks today or the strip, just because I'm not comfortable with doing it in one machine. But yeah, we will see how it goes. All right, well, I found this little secluded campsite on Hip Camp. That's a dedicated spot. I messaged the guy. He said he should be able to get there if he got four-wheel drive, so we're heading there. It's not too far from Leota, and yeah, we'll actually be able to test out the gear, at least at a proper campground, you know. See you guys in a little bit. Well, this is the road to the campground, so hopefully I can make it. Well, we made it to site number 3. It's just this little thing I found on Hip Camp. The guy wasn't joking when he said you needed a 4x4 to get here. The road to his house, the trees are all the way down because of all the snow. We're here. We're gonna get stuff set up. I'm gonna drag that picnic table out over there so I can have it closer to the machine, and we'll start getting things set up. Well, this is what my setup's looking like so far. Gonna be a nice bluebird night. Actually not, what am I talking about? Lots of clouds. Nothing too scary as far as weather. This is the sleeping setup. I got the diesel heater plumbed in through there. I'm gonna be taping it with some painter's tape here just to seal up some of the edges. I'm not sure how well it'll stick in the cold, but we'll see. All right, well, we're just hanging out. It's not quite 6 o'clock yet, so I still got a little bit of time before New Year's Eve, so I can't imagine I'm going to be out here in the cold for that long, but I'll give it a few hours hopefully, and we'll hang out, eat some food, have some cigars, you know, chill out quite literally. It's supposed to get down to, I believe, 8 degrees tonight, so it's gonna be pretty freaking cold. Hopefully the diesel heater keeps up in the truck. I'll see you guys in a bit, maybe when I'm in the machine, but yeah, I'm just gonna hang out here for a little bit. Enjoy the fire. Probably hard to tell, but I just made some tea, and we're gonna have some beef lasagna tonight, so gonna be a nice cool evening. Figured I should make something hot for myself right now. It's nice and quiet out here, although I have the music on and jamming too, so. Well, as it turns out, the 10 degree, whoa, what is my, yeah, I get it. So as it turns out, the propane tank decided to just shut off on me, and the flame just kicked out. So I think it's just way too freaking cold for that that propane to be flowing, even in the big tank. I thought I'd get away with it, but I guess not. So yeah, we're kind of just chilling in the cold now. I was planning on going into the machine around 8, so that's still about another hour 15 minutes or so. Maybe I'll go in sooner though. I'm probably going to get my heated vest on though if I'm going to be sitting out here for a little longer. There's the moon. There's the old setup. Got her going. So we'll let her warm up a bit. I'm going to run it on high for about 10-15 minutes, maybe longer. And then we will get inside and turn her down a little bit and see how she maintains. I'm going in a little earlier than I expected because, you know, this thing died. So it is what it is. Nope. I'm in the Nissan now. Gonna be watching some movies here on my phone. I got the diesel heater going through there. This is kind of my setup. It's not perfect. It's just, you know, some sheets on the windows, some cardboard, some more black sheets, and some other cardboard. I actually got a E5 error on the diesel heater because I was running it on 6, and the piping in here isn't very big, and it's pretty enclosed place, so I guess it was overheating. So since it's so dense and so cold air, it's really working well. So instead of on 6, I turned it down to 2 now, and it's still pumping out good heat. I think I'm going to be comfortable in here as long as the heater does not shut off in the middle of the night. I guess I'll probably know if it shuts off. It's not a huge issue. I can just remotely turn off the EcoFlow and then turn the switch back on and then kind of start it up again if I need to. But it is working. It is pumping air, as you can hear. So yeah, let's watch yourselves a little movie or something and hang out, because it's not quite New Year's yet. If I didn't mention that, it's this is a New Year's Eve trip, so it's the 31st.
Hi, Todd Mahar, eHarmony. How can I help you today? Hi, I can't...
Well guys, I survived the night. Amidst some errors and stuff on the diesel heater earlier in the evening. Honestly, I was pretty comfortable in here. The sleeping pad is showing its age at this point, so that's the only downside. My back hurts a little bit. But yeah, everything else kind of worked out well. The setup looks pretty good. Heater's working. Nice view outside in the morning. Can't complain otherwise, so we're gonna get up, use the bathroom, and then I might lounge around a little more and go from there. Man, I'm tired. Happy New Year. Alright, we're gonna be getting a motel tonight. I've identified what I need to change in this setup. I think primarily the big one's gonna be the foam pad I have. It is a cheap Amazon one. I think I gotta get the one my buddy has because my back hurts pretty bad after this night. So yeah, we will continue from there. It is about 10 or 11 degrees outside today. I think the coldest it got to was 8 degrees last night, about 6 a.m. I actually was sleeping pretty comfortably last night with the diesel heater. So that's what this whole setup looked like. Clearly it dried out some on the ground, which is kind of nice. Nothing caught on fire. It's nice and dirty sand and just melted. But yeah, that's kind of my whole diesel heater setup. And I believe it was 14-ish hours it used. How much is that? 2.53. A little more than 3 liters of diesel, which is pretty good. I left it on 2 the whole night, which didn't like superheat the inside of the cab, but it did warm it up enough that it was comfortable in there. I was comfortable. I was in my hoodie and my fleece lined pants, but I had no problems sleeping. The only problems I had was, like I was mentioning, the bed. The mattress is not that great. That's going to be next on the upgrade list. And I've kind of needed a new pad like that for a while. As you can see, I've suffered long enough with it. I usually have it on my cot, which isn't so bad because the cot gives some cushion and that just gives a little extra cushion as well. I probably need to upgrade to a nicer foam pad. Yeah, I think we're gonna get packed up here. I don't know if I'm gonna make food out here or not. I'm debating on it, but I gotta brush my teeth and stuff still, because I didn't want to do that last night when it was cold. If you're curious how I wired this, I just used a spare 12-volt adapter my dad had and wired it in to the EcoFlow there, and that thing will run it all night, no problem. Well, I ran it longer than all night. I ran it 14 hours. I'll check what the usage level is on the EcoFlow in a little bit here, but yeah, we're just getting things a little more organized, and I might take a break and have something to drink, and then we'll head out of here soon. The rig started up. It's a good sign. It's about 11 a.m. right now. I got some Polish kabanosy for breakfast. They're a little frozen though, so I'm gonna let them warm up. I'm gonna probably head out of here, get onto one of the main roads, and then have a snack, just so I make sure I can get out of this place. Actually, I think the trail ended up being just as sketchy, if not more, than the high banks would have been. But at least this one, I knew it was a dedicated site, and the other one had some pretty big hills I had to go up and down, and with being snow on top and ice on the bottom, since we had that big heat and warm up not long ago, I just was a little concerned. So yeah, we'll crunch our way out of here and talk to you guys in a little bit. This is the spot I accidentally went into. Kind of gets deep back there and a little bumpy. Yeah, we're just gonna head out of here. This is the known, so I came in this way, but there's some slushy spots. If you're on a side-by-side, you could absolutely rip through here, but you know, this is a bigger machine and I gotta, probably 10 miles an hour is a little too fast. But hey, the campground owner was right. I would say you need 4x4 to get here. If you had a two-wheel drive vehicle, that would be no bueno. I think you would get stuck on this road getting in here. And even if you made it down this road, you probably would have issues at the entrance there. Here's a little frozen spot. But definitely giving me a little more confidence in the machine driving down these trails. So, oh, big bump. Still recording. Pretty decent traction because we're not cracking through to the ice. We're on top of the crusty stuff. And these trees are exactly why I didn't want to take like my Ram down these roads, because this car, I don't care too much about pinstriping. Other cars I definitely would care about. Here's a nice little... Let's get around that. Not sure how much you can see, but it's a pretty decent trail. I'm just in first gear and 4x4 high. You don't need a low for this. But you have the option. You kind of just have to sit in the ruts, unfortunately. It's kind of hard to get on top of the snow. But luckily there's nothing really deep. There's never a whole lot of deep stuff in these parts of Michigan because they're really sandy routes. So you get a lot of drainage. Oh, finally hit 15, so the door's locked. I'm just used to being in the side-by-side where I have to block myself from these, but these ones, as long as I don't hit them too hard, I probably won't break anything. But, you know, time will tell. Yeah, all the little water spots I hit before, they're all frozen now, so. Alright, well this is Forest Road according to Google Maps. Forest Road and Hemlock Avenue. So we are going to hang a left and head into Leota and get some gas and then head over to probably Manistee, but I'm not sure yet. Either Manistee or Grayling. I'm not quite sure. Probably Manistee though. There's more to do there. Yeah, this road underneath all this is pure ice. You can even see the gravel underneath about a ½ inch or ¼ inch of ice. So, well, these all-terrains are doing pretty good. Cannot complain. So, keep her ripping. Just had lunch at the 13th Street Market and Restaurant. It's a nice little spot. We've come here before when we had our siblings trip a few years ago. It was pretty good food. It's crazy to see where the water level was during the summertime. You would hurt yourself falling off this thing into the water. And then my motel is just back there. Doesn't want to focus. Pretty wintry conditions here. Well, we just left the Salty Heifer Diner for breakfast this morning, and I'll be heading to the beach actually to see how the lake's looking in the winter. I think someone's put some corn out for these deer. We have made it to 5th Avenue Beach. There's the big pier. It's probably going to be covered in ice, so we're not going to be going on it, but at least we can get some photos and check out the shoreline. Well, I had to go back to the car because just the wind was making my eyes hurt really bad. So I got the sunglasses, which they do a little bit, but yeah, this is kind of the opposite side of pure Michigan. You know, you got beautiful Lake Michigan, but then you have the strength and cold of this harsh environment. So hopefully we can get a little closer and check out the water in the pier. This is how you flirt with death. If you want to go out on the pier, good luck. A good wind will blow you right into the channel or into the lake. And you don't want to be walking out on those ice shelves either, because sometimes there's a buildup of ice. It's a shelf over the water. It cracks, you fall into it and can't get out, and you die. So that's the beauty. That's pure Michigan. Pure beauty and probably pure death if you don't respect it. That was for the boys. So you may or may not recognize this place from my earlier trip to Orchard Beach this year with my buddy. So we're just north kind of ish of Nekema, I think Portage Lake, and the spring is still running even in the dead of winter. So that's pretty cool. Gonna fill up my partially frozen water with it. Nice fresh spring water. Probably cold, really cold. All right, guys, that's probably about it for this trip. I may record some more, but I'm really just gonna be hanging out in Manistee for the rest of the evening. If I see something interesting, I'll record it, but if not, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, because I really appreciate that. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this. See you guys.